Hey, is there any kind of a sense of relief, Anthony, that although you guys have not played up to what your expectations are, et cetera, that it's all still there in front of you, that in this crazy and cluttered AFC race, there's still a chance?
Yeah, you play the game to win. You play the game to go to the next level as far as playoffs, and give yourselves a chance to be in the final race. So, to like you said, to say we still have a shot, we haven't played our best ball yet. We all know that, and to say we're still in the mix, definitely, just it just makes coming into practice a little bit more worth it. But yeah, just we understand that everything that all the goals that we had to start the season still out in front of us. We just got to take care of business.
Coach said guys came back really refreshed and recharged. Was that the vibe you got, or guys like itching to get this thing going again?
Yeah, you can see that practice today, just the energy. Guys just happy to be back in the building. You get so used to being around your teammates that when you're not around them, it's like that, like you're missing something. You're missing a part of your life, and then you come back and it's like, it's like seeing your family again. You see your brothers and everything that you go to war with every day. You're in meetings with every day, and like you said, it's that sense of brotherhood, that sense of love that you miss for a couple of days. You used to seeing the same person every day, and now you go 3-4 days and you don't see him. So I hit up John Johnson on Sunday, like, dude, when do you get back? Like,
Thanks, man.
Thank you, Tom. Dale Ryder has our next question.
Anthony, the first 12 games were a bit of a roller coaster for you guys on the defensive side of the ball. Now you had the opportunity to kind of decompress, step away, and prepare yourself for these last 5 games. Just from your perspective, how do you feel you guys are positioned to kind of level that out? I know the last 5 of 6 games, you guys have given up 17 or fewer points, which obviously is a positive step in the right direction. But how do you level out the performance and get that consistency down the stretch now?
Yeah, that's what you want to focus on. Just being consistent at this point. Like you said, the roller coaster start. Now just trying to hone in on the little details and finish strong. And let's see where everything falls after that. But all we can control is what we can control on the defensive side of the ball. That's executing our game plan. Getting off the field on third down, winning critical situations, and getting takeaways. And then we'll figure out how everything else after that, just trying to find a way to win.
A lot of focus has been on the offense and what they can do to get themselves on track. But for you guys on the defensive side of the ball, Joe Woods has talked a lot about this season about tightening, as he put it, the menu, I guess, the play calls or options of what he's going to call. Coming back this morning and visiting with Joe, do you anticipate more of that here as you go forward, that he's going to kind of, for you guys defensively, tighten that menu up?
Yeah, we trust in whatever he calls. Coach Joe does a great job game planning along with the rest of the defensive staff. And, we just we all we have to do is go out and execute. And we understand that. The menu is what the menu is. Obviously, great coaches, they want to keep the menu smaller for, the guys on defense, and so we can go play fast. And obviously coming off the bye week, you're able to do a self scout. See what you did well, what you didn't do well. What calls you like, what calls you don't like. What the guys can execute. Sorry, I sound like my dad at this point, but just getting that mindset of I want to give the guys the best game plan possible so they can go out and execute. And as a coach, you as a player, you love when the coach does that, but as a coach, you love when your guys go out and execute. So again, we trust in whatever he calls, and we just have to go out and execute. And then you talked about the offense earlier. I mean, shoot, there are games when the offense has carried us, and there are games where we've played well and the offense didn't play so well. So at this point, it's all about finding a way to win. It's not. It's not going to be pretty. This is the AFC South. It's pretty where you're going to have a great dominant top down performance. You're going to have some games where you got to, fight, claw, scratch, block a punt, whatever it takes. Like the Pittsburgh game yesterday, just find a way to get off the field on a 2-point conversion. All those little things like that. So however we got to get it done, we got to do it.
Thank you, Daryl. To Mary Kay Cabot.
Yes, Anthony, what went through your mind when you were watching that game yesterday, watching Lamar and anticipating facing him again, seeing him go down the field and do what he did on that last drive, but also conversely getting sacked 7 times and just all the things that happened in that game?
Yeah, obviously you know preparing for the next opponent, which happens to be the Ravens again, and you know to get a TV copy game of it, you know, live in person, is always good. Just to see the differences of how they attacked us, and you know how they attacked Pittsburgh, and you know different ways that they tried to, you know, get the ball in space and all that stuff. So, like you said, we're kind of a different scheme than Pittsburgh, as far as like, you know, what the first of all, the defensive set, we're a 4-3, they're 3-4, you know, but like you said, being able to get to the quarterback, putting pressure on Lamar, all that stuff, you know, that's something that we got to do. I thought we did a good job last time. We got to keep him in the pocket a little bit better, you know, not let him get outside, but at the end of the day, like you said, he gave his team a chance at the end to go down and, you know, and go to the 2-point conversion to win the game. And, you know, great play by TJ Watt, able to get a hand in Lamar's face. But it speaks, again, talk about the two things that I've talked about, finding a way to win and, you know, just the winner that Lamar is. You know, he's able to put his team in position after, you know, we would say not so great game by him, but still have a chance at the end to win the game. And that's, you know, that's what we got to do. We got to find a way to win. That's, you know, I'm pretty sure Pitt would have took a 3-0 win or, you know, whatever, however they got it done. So we got to find a way to do the same thing.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mary Kate. Nate Ulrich, you're up.
Hey, Anthony, there's a little bit of news in the linebacker room today with Jacob Phillips coming back. I'm just wondering what you've learned about him through this process, where obviously he's been working his way back.
Yeah, true professional. You talk about somebody that's, you know, ever since he's been out, came in with the mindset that I'm going to help the team any way possible, while also, you know, get my rehab in and, you know, trying to get back as fast as possible to help the team. You know, he's been, you know, a great voice for us on the sideline, helping us when we come off in practice, watching film, everything like that. He's been there with us every step of the way. So to have him back on the field obviously was great to see, you know, number 50 flying around. You know, the first 2 drills that we did, I told him, man, you look explosive, you know, just confident, you know, trusting himself. So definitely excited to have him back, and, you know, definitely a boost for, like you said, a boost for our linebacker room.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nate. Matt Fontana, go ahead.
Yeah, Anthony, I mean, we've talked to you about this. Miles has mentioned about taking pieces from what other teams do when it comes to defending Lamar. And they've had now 4 straight games that they've scored 19 points or less. I think I saw the Steelers, they did a lot where they stood at the line, try to get their hands up in like the passing routes. Do you feel that maybe there's a lot more things that people are being able to take from other teams on how to defend Lamar?
Yeah, I think, you know, you just try to make sure all the rush lanes are filled up. You know, you're not rushing past the quarterback. You're staying in coverage when he does run around. Little things like that. You know, but I think for the most part, you gotta stop their bread and butter, which is obviously the run game. You know, the quick passes and all that, and give yourself a chance to win on 3rd down. You know, when they're in 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, and they still have the threat of running the ball with the backs, the receivers, and Lamar, that's an advantage to them. 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8, you know, plus now, you know, you got to throw the ball. You know, that's advantage, you know, obviously, you know, as to the defense, you know, so you're able to mix up pressure, mix up coverage. You know, so at the end of the day, like I said, like we can dab and, you know, take things from, you know, different teams like every team has done. But if you look at the key to all the success that other teams have had is winning on 1st and 2nd down. You know, getting into 3rd and plus, third and long plus.
And I asked Coach this, you kind of just talked about it. How much can you actually gain from just watching a game on TV? Like, can you even sit back and even watch it as a fan, really, or are you still just watching it as a player watching tape?
Yeah, it's so funny. You know, I was at home watching, you know, college football with my dad and, you know, a little bit of NFL football, and I'm like, I can't even sit there and watch it without like, dude, he's supposed to do this. Like, this is like, they're in this coverage and this is how it's supposed to work. So I'm not even like a true fan anymore unless I'm watching, you know, Northwestern or my high school play or something like that. I'm more of a, you know, this is how this should be played, and, you know, just stuff like that. So, you you know, for me, you know, watching the game yesterday was more so, you know, just looking at little tips, you know, couple sound things, you know, you try to pick up on the TV copies and stuff like that. And then obviously watching the overall game. So yeah, that was my weekend actually.
Thank you, Matt. Dan Lobby, go ahead.
Anthony, Matt actually led me right into that because I wanted to ask about the TV copy. Is there some sort of like audio? I mean, do you kind of listen closely to that stuff where you can kind of hear the cadences a little better and you can kind of, you know, those mics pick up so many things that that obviously you can't hear when you're watching just regular film?
Yeah, you try to look at like you said, the cadence and, you know, signals and stuff like that, just to, you know, try to get a little beat on them. Being the away team, you know, obviously they kind of went a little silent count a little bit yesterday. So obviously I'm pretty sure they'll probably be the same, you know, coming into the dog pound. But yeah, just like you said, just trying to pick up little tidbits that you can from watching the TV copy.
And then I wanted to ask, obviously, Baltimore, you know, a lot like you guys, they go for 2 to win that game. They go for it a lot on 4th down. When you play a team that you know is going to be aggressive like that, does that change your mindset at all on defense, knowing that like it's not 3 and outs now? There's going to be a lot of 4 and outs and things like that.
Yeah, you got to play the whole series, play the whole game, 60 minutes. You know, there's no such thing as the job is done until it's 0-0-0 left on the clock. Like I talked about earlier, Lamar's a winner. He's shown that he can, you know, win a game with his legs, with his arm, being down by a big lead, you know, being up, keeping the lead, whatever it is. So, you know, again, that when you have a dual threat quarterback, you know, that can stretch the field vertically, horizontally, you know, playmakers all around the field. You know, you gotta kind of, you know, you gotta play the whole game, man. It's a 60-minute fight. And, you know, you see where you are at the end of 60 minutes. And if you got to go longer, you got to go longer.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. We're going to take 3 more. Scott Petrick, Jeff Shadell, Ashley Bassett. Scott.
Hey, Anthony, we talked about this a little before that first Ravens game, but because you're playing them back-to-back, does your plan have to change a lot, or can you just go in defensively with basically the same game plan?
Fundamentals. This is a fundamental game. There's no secret, you know, to what we do and what they do. This game is going to come down to the team that does the little things the right way, that don't beat themselves, and the team that takes the ball away and don't turn it over. So, you know, scheme-wise, you know, you throw a couple wrinkles, a new wrinkle or whatever it is, but, you know, your fundamentals, your foundation, what you're built on, you know, that's what you do. And, you know, like you said, throw a couple wrinkles in off of that. But at the end of the day, it comes down to the little things and, you know, who executes the best.
And we didn't talk to you after that first game, but what was the issue with some of the substitutions? It didn't seem to be a problem in the first 11 games, but it cropped up a couple times Sunday night.
Yeah, obviously that's like I talked about, you know, not beating yourself. You know, obviously you know, I think we thought the punt team was coming on one time, you know, punt return team's going, then they switch and go offense, defense, then they switch and, you know, they line up in one personnel and then they switch and run somebody else on. So now we got to switch to another defensive personnel. It's no excuse though. You know, we got to be better in that situation. That starts with me and the communication of, you know, what personnel that we're in and getting everybody else on the same page.
Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. Jeff Shadell, go ahead.
And they heard what you just said about just fundamentals, but with you guys getting 4 picks in that game a couple of weeks ago, do you think that Baltimore will attack you differently?
I think they're going to do what they do. You know, that they're a team that, like I talked about, this foundation at this point. You know, what you're not going to go and do a whole complete different game plan. You know, I think, you know, a couple of the throws, I think Lamar would definitely tell you he wants back and, you know, he'll, you know, find another read or whatever it is. So, you know, I don't think they're going to do a whole complete 180. You know, I think they're going to do what they do, you know, try to get the ball horizontally, vertically down the field, you know, mix in some quarterback runs and everything like that. Yeah, so we got to be fundamentally sound on everything that we do.
Thanks, Jeff. We'll close the day with Ashley Bassett.
Hey, Anthony, I wanted to ask you about JOK, just given the kind of career day he had against the Ravens last time. I guess just like largely, how have you seen him come along this year, and what makes him so good in what he was able to do in that game, especially getting all the tackles he got? And against Lamar, I think half of them were for.
Yeah, you talk about just his explosiveness, his ability to read, diagnose a play, and just go. And I think that's what you can't really coach that instincts. I think he's just one of those, like, I see it, I'm going to trust it, and I'm going to go, and I'm going to fly like a bat out of hell, and get there before they get me, and he was able to get the ball carriers before they were even able to turn their shoulders, and that's a huge play at linebacker. You want to beat them to the point of attack. You talk about his growth, just being able to get a whole game plan, go through practice, learn, continue to grow throughout the week, and then go execute on Sunday. For him, I'm pretty sure he'll tell you he's, night and day from where he was, from when the season first started, as far as, knowing, the ins and outs of the plays and everything like that. He knew his job 100%, but knowing where he's supposed to fit within the defense, I think he's really starting to understand that now. And he's making plays because of it. He's trusting all the 11 guys around him, knowing where he's supposed to be. Somebody's supposed to be outside of him, or if he's outside and turning the ball back inside, and just being instinctive, man. He's a very instinctive, explosive player, and he's showing it.